Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here for a special interview here today as we welcome back great friend of the podcast, Gabby Pascuzzi. Gabby, how are you?
Hello, Rob. I'm great. Thanks for the ding.
Yes, anytime, Gabby. Thank you for being here. And this is the old school interview. And I saw some people, a real wiseacre or two, scoffed at the idea that you're an old school survivor. What do you think? Are you an old school survivor?
No, I'm not an old school
But you
survivor.
played in a 39-day game.
Oh my gosh, is that the new criteria? Okay,
That's the
I'm
criteria for
definitely
me.
I'm definitely a pre-new era, but then I feel like the names of the categories are so not so catchy. It's like old
Mm,
school, new school, and then
yep.
new era. We need something to differentiate between new school and new era.
Yeah. How about this? How many days did you play Survivor, Gabby?
Longer than any winner of a post 40
Okay, all
world.
right. I rest my case. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm so excited that you're here, and we'll have some fun today talking through a week where Survivor 48 at a crossroads. I think that we are at a point, I think, where I don't know if it's too late to pull out of a nosedive, but it does seem like that we are running out of time to prevent a just real straight shot to the end.
It is feeling very old school in a way.
Yes, it is. So perfect for the old school interview. Um,
Yeah.
but Gabby, before we get to that, let me just catch up with you. What's new with you?
What's new with me? I don't remember the last time we've really sat down in a
Talk Survivor.
non-social deduction like weird
Yes.
game.
Well, you've
But
played in a lot of the Blood on the Clock Tower games that I just am
yeah.
like sitting by watching. I'm like Greg on the White Lotus. I'm just watching the Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah, that's creepy. But you've been a good
Just
I don't
saying thumbs up to everybody.
to Greg, yeah. A good storyteller assistant or
Yeah.
narrator MC, which you're always good at. But yeah, I mean those games are fun. But now that we can actually sit down and talk, the update. Here's the thing: when you're in a PhD program, is you get very used to people saying, "So you're still in school."
hmm
And they say that for now I'm in I've just finished my fourth year of my PhD in social psychology, and that question never ends, and I am still in school. And then
Yes.
the next question is, when will you be done? And the answer to that is, I don't know. It's supposed to be done in 5 years, but if you ask me to think about how I'm going to finish my dissertation in 1 year, I would say I don't know how. So the answer is TBD, but I'm still here in Buffalo
Yeah.
finishing my
What's the rush,
PhD.
everybody? Okay. Let Gabby live. Get off her neck.
Yeah, leave me. I'm so happy making $20,000 a year on my graduate student stipend. I
hmm
really want to stay in this position and not
Yeah.
ever move on to anything
And
more.
then Gabby, so for excuse my naivete,
That's
but
okay.
then once you are done, is that it? Are you a doctor? Do you have to go into some sort of like is there like a residency, or you're just like that you are out and then you are ready to go?
Yeah, and then I'm ready to do open heart surgery after
Wow.
after I get my doctorate. No, yeah, after you defend your dissertation, you are then a doctor, and then it's up to people what they do after that job wise.
Let me
Some
ask you, what is
people,
defend your dissertation?
oh my God, this is like Thanksgiving with
I'm
extended family.
sorry. I'm sorry with Uncle Rob. I
That's okay.
apologize.
Well, a dissertation is like the big capstone project that you do in your final years, and you write it up. It's a really long paper. Oh, another pro tip is never ask a PhD student like how long or like how long, how much more of the paper they have to write, because
Yeah, it's rude.
it's such a long thing that it's not like, oh yeah, I've got like 5 more pages. It's not really about like the length of pages. It's about like the completion of this huge project. So pro tip, I remember Dr. Christian Hubicki saying these pet peeves to me many years ago. And now I'm in the same boat being like, oh, I get it. But
hmm
it's such a niche thing. Nobody knows. I didn't know
Yeah.
anything about this before I did it. But anyway, it's a big project. And then you write it, you send it to your committee, and then the defense is they ask you questions about your work and you have to defend it, like explain why it makes sense, why you made decisions that you did, and how
And
you're.
what happens, Gabby, if they defend it and you can't, basically you're like, not that this would happen to you, but let's say hypothetically somebody was like a bad goalie on their dissertation and they just are doing a horrible job defending it. Do they have to go back? You have to go write it
You have to
again?
restart all 5
Yeah.
years. Yeah. No, you have to usually do revisions, which doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad defense or dissertation, but sometimes it means, maybe they didn't follow a certain argument, or you need to do a different set of
Okay.
analyses. So yeah, it's a whole like iterative process. I know this is really exciting
No,
for listeners of RHAP.
to bring this to Survivor, this almost sounds like a final tribal council.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good analogy. Yeah, you have to be able to explain why you made all of the decisions that you did, explain how what you did is novel. I guess
Defend
it's like defending your big move in Survivor. Like you have to say, it's like as if the jury asks, "What did you do that's different or new here?" And you have to say how you've contributed to the field and how your work is different, but how it's built on everything before it. Yeah, it's like Final Tribal.
Okay, so there's been so much hand-wringing this week, which, I may or may not have been a part of, where that do the survivors need to make a move? What's your take on, just from a outsider's perspective, on this Survivor Final 7 who voted out Star the other night?
Yeah, I think the question of do the survivors need to make a move is there's a different answer when you're looking at the 4 that are in majority and the 4 that were, well, I guess now they're in the majority, but the 4v4, right? And like, I can't fault the players in the majority for not blowing up their own alliance because they're in a really strong spot. But what the heck are the people on the outside doing? It's been so frustrating.
Some of the people on the outside are trying to do something, but
they are.
I even fault some of the people that are in the 4, because for Shaheen and Kyle, like, I'm not so sure that they are going to win if they stay in the current trajectory.
Oh, I disagree. So my winner pick, post merge winner pick, has been Kyle. And why do you say that about Kyle and Shaheen?
Because I feel like that if they just go down to the end with Joe, who seemingly has been the person at the center of everything, controlling everything, like, I think that the jurors, and maybe Kyle can defend his dissertation effectively, but I think as a juror, I would say, like, but what did you even do? Joe got you all here. You followed Joe.
I disagree. Okay, if I was Kyle and I was defending my dissertation, I'm sure he probably had to do some equivalent, right, for his law degree. I don't know how law works. He had to take the bar exam. I would say that he had a secret thing in the game that nobody else knew about, which was Kamilla, who, by the way, I also love. I just shout out to her. I don't want to be the person that's, this is a season of duos and I'm only talking about Kyle, and, I know what it's like to be in the duo, but I feel like that's what sets Kyle apart, is he has this like outside information, whereas Joe is so out in the front with Eva. And then also I feel like we're being told that Joe he's getting like the Mike Turner thing, where he's like, well, I'm so loyal, and people are like feeling burned by him as they're going to the jury. And like this week there was like the montage of him talking to Mary and her feeling like, why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
So I feel like the message I'm getting from that is like, is Joe gonna have friends on his side if he's at the jury at the end? That's like picking a bad committee member on your dissertation. That's like picking a professor who doesn't like you.
So, all right. Well, if I may challenge your dissertation, then I would say that we're, in the case of Marianne and Mike Turner, but Marianne, of course, has a huge move that she does and gets blindsides Omer at the final 6. And then she also goes to the final tribal council and gives a great speech, and also brings out the fact that she had an idol, and also Mike played an idol on her, that he didn't even know that she had an idol. But I feel like, other than Kyle has a secret friendship with Kamilla, like, I feel like he doesn't necessarily have those, I don't want to say resume points, but he doesn't really necessarily have, exhibit A, B, and C to point to that he did work to get David out of the game. And so that's something. But I feel like if he just goes down the line with Joe, like I still feel like he doesn't have any of those Marianne great cases to make to the jury.
Yeah, I could see that, but okay, what about this is the thing about talking about Survivor. We're like down this rabbit hole of hypotheticals. It's like we don't know,
We don't
but
know.
that's why you have a podcast, I guess. I am curious if there is an end game where Eva, Joe, and Kyle sit at the end, and because Eva and Joe are both there, it's kind of like it's not that they'll split the votes, but it's sort of like, I don't know, what did you two do that is different from each other? And then like Kyle could stand out at a final tribal in
It's
that kind of
possible.
a setup.
Yeah.
You know, why not? It's a possibility. But by the way, let me say, I think I love Joe as well. And the only reason that I was that I'm saying that is sort of because I felt like the edit has been showing how you know, like David's like, well, you didn't stick to your word, like showing that kind of content. So my reality TV fan brain is like, well, why are they showing that? So I actually think Joe, I think they're playing a really good game. I think getting David out was more beneficial to Kyle than to Joe and Eva, though, because
That's what I thought too. But then there was no follow-up this week where I kind of thought that like, okay, well, this is the beginning of the end for Joe, but I thought Joe had a real bounce back week. Can you
he won immunity. They might have gotten him out if he didn't.
Maybe. I didn't really think that was coming up if they didn't
Mitch wasn't down.
Yeah. But what did you mean by when you said that you felt like that your reality TV brain was picking something else up when they were showing Joe talking about when you said you saw him in a different light?
Oh, I just mean I'm reading into the, you know, what's so-called the edit. The edit of, and it's just like the reality TV brain is like, you know, I watch so much reality TV that you pick up on these patterns of the edit. And so to me, we've been shown twice now that potentially people might feel like Joe is doing maybe not a great job with jury management. And so my mind goes to, if I was a producer and I had to explain why Joe wouldn't win, that's the kind of thing I would show.
Yeah.
But like from a game perspective, I think Joe's been doing awesome. I think Eva's been doing awesome. I think they're such a good duo. I think I just really like Kyle's sneaky duo with Kamilla. I just like it.
That's what I love too, but it's not doing anything with it. That's the problem that I was so frustrated with this week, where it seemed like that this week where I felt like that, okay, Kyle and Kamilla are really they're the story of the season of like, hey, they're the secret duo that nobody knows about. They've called themselves the most powerful alliance in the game. For the first time this week, I felt like that Kyle was sort of saying like, well, I don't know if it's going to work out with Kamilla. I may just stand pat here. And to me, I feel like that's that scenario where Kyle goes down to the end with Joe and the jury says, well, what did you even do to get here? Like, this was, you know, sure, you're a nice guy, and maybe we're mad at Joe, but we're more mad at you for not doing anything. You could have voted with us.
Maybe, but yeah, maybe we still have to see the climax, the crux of the Joe and Kyle and Kamilla relationship pay off. I think we are still waiting for that a little bit. If it was a scripted show, they should probably do it soon because it's getting a little dry.
Yes. Okay.
If I could put a bird in the scripted, those people that say it's a Survivor scripted.
Yes. Okay. And that never happens on scripted shows where people are like, is something going to happen? Like, what is something going to happen on this show? That is only on reality shows that people say that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. There have been a few shows that I've been bored by. People were saying that about the White Lotus, and I'm like,
get out of here.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, slow build.
Is that what this is? This season of Survivor 48, we'll just say at the end, it was a slow burn.
What's the opposite of a burn? Like a fizzle out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not a fizzle out. Hopefully it's just like it took a minute, but just hang in there.
This is the problem with the finale having so many days of gameplay in it, is actually some really cool stuff could happen in the final 6 or 5. I don't know. How many do they put in the finale now? 5
So
only?
typically it's 5. I think the last season, we started with 4 because it was a 2-part finale.
Oh, see, I can't keep track. We started with 4. Okay? See, clearly I don't even remember. So maybe it's not as bad as I think. But
Hmm.
there's still some game left to be played. There's still 7, 6, 5, and so maybe something interesting
Yeah.
could happen. And I say interesting, like I will say, maybe times like this, the 90 minutes feels a little long. But from like a what I'm interested in, which is human beings and relationships and that kind of thing, I think there's still some interesting things in the
Yes.
season, which is I think it's cool and rare that an alliance has stuck together. I think the part that's frustrating, which people have been talking about online, is the inability of those on the bottom to kind of get it together. And yeah, you're right. Some of them wanted to, but then there's just no like cohesion, not even cohesion. I just want to see more grittiness, or it's like, what do you have to lose?
What do you have to lose? Because you're
And then
gonna.
you go.
That's the thing. Like you make a move now. If yeah, you might go out this week, but you're gonna go out next week if you don't make a move. So why not? But I want to. Would love to hear you talk a little bit about. You're such a student of human behavior, and so are there things that you're seeing about this group that you think are interesting?
Oh, no, now I feel so much pressure. Well, so I just taught this semester, I just taught the psychology of close relationships, which is my area of research for the first
Wow,
time. So it was really fun to teach. Although I taught it on Zoom, which I was not
the
expecting or
irony.
used to. Yeah, close relationships and then Zoom, but they were actually quite engaged because I made them be. But
How do you make them be engaged on Zoom?
you make participation worth part of their grade.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It really gets them talking. But I think that then they end up liking it. It's like, I'm the teacher. I know what's best for you. Uh, so what am I seeing? And we talked a little bit about it's this like season of duos, and I always think that's really interesting because what that says to me. So in relationships, and we can think about these like levels of connection, and duos, that's a one-on-one relationship. That's called a dyad, which is two people. And that's often what we think about with close relationships and how we belong and how we connect with people, as we think about our close relationships, like your relationship with your wife, your relationship with your best friend, things like that. And those are often our closest relationships. But we can also get belonging, feel like we belong, we're connected to others through bigger groups, like a bigger alliance of 4, like a group, a social group that you belong to, maybe like RHAP as a community. And so I think it's really interesting to see like the levels of trust corresponding more or less with these levels. It's what we would expect in psychology, right? Your closest level of trust is going to be like the smallest unit. And then you have like a little more trust with the bigger group. And then it's kind of like, how far out does that go? But this season really has seemed to be about trust. Like you hear the majority, like I think of Eva a lot of the time being like, I really trust these people. I'm just going to go to the end with them.
Yeah.
And it's so cheesy, but Survivor really is about trust. But then it makes me wonder about what those on the outside are doing. And we heard, for example, Mitch say this week he doesn't trust Star, so he can't work with her. Um, but who does he have better trust with? I don't know, at least. And if I'm looking at, again, these groups and these dyads, Mitch isn't really a part of a dyad or a duo. So he doesn't have someone he has close trust with. And so if
Yeah.
he's expecting that level from Star, who's like a relative, he's, sort of stranger, or like, I don't know, you've been together for 20 days or whatever at this point, you can't expect that level of closeness because you don't have a duo in this game. You can't expect that same level of closeness. You have to be okay with these a little bit of like looser ties, as we say. For example, it would be like your acquaintance at or your coworker. Well, I don't know. You have a weird job, so that
I do have a
doesn't
weird
really
job.
that
Yeah.
doesn't
But
really
okay. So let's say I had a friend.
Let's say you had an
Yeah.
acquaintance, but it's like the people that you meet at the water cooler. They're not your best friends. You're not like in a dyadic, really close one-on-one relationship with them, but you have an acquaintanceship with them. But sometimes maybe you need to work with them on a project. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with Mitch, where it's like,
Mhm.
Star's your coworker. You don't have to have 100% trust. You just have to work together on this project.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my
But
take on these
yeah,
levels
I
of
almost feel like that
friendship
Mitch
and
is
trust.
treating her more like, well, I'm not going to work with her. She's the office pariah. Nobody will like me if I work with the person that we said that we're not working with. Don't pair me up with her.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I can understand his thought process because I think it's like he's thinking, let me survive one more day and then I'll see what I can do tomorrow. But as tomorrow comes, you have fewer opportunities.
Yes, it gets harder.
It gets harder. You don't have as many numbers. Also, what happened? I thought he taught her how to swim. I thought they were
Yeah, what
friends.
happened
That
with that?
takes
Well,
trust.
look, that was her trusting him. He
Aw.
wasn't gonna, let her make sure the pit bull was chained up or anything like that.
I like missed the first, I guess, pivotal 5 seconds of that story. So I had
Yes.
no idea what was going on. I turned to my friend, like, I don't know, you're getting up, getting a drink or something. And I was like, is he talking about a dream he had last night? Like,
No.
what is this like story?
Mailman Mitch became like a big part of his storyline, his former job working as a postal employee.
Oh, so my cat is knocking on my door. It's like, I mean, as much as a cat can.
Yes. And then you open the door for the
I
cat?
opened the door because I'm weak.
You're weak. Your heart is weak that you couldn't hear the cat knocking for the whole time.
Was the cat? Could you hear it? Was it so
No,
bad?
I couldn't hear it.
Oh,
No.
okay. Well, the cat. I was hearing noise, and I should not be weak and just let the cat in because it's being annoying. But I'm weak of heart
Yes.
towards my
Okay.
cats.
Now you have 2 cats, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, do you feel like that the cats have a dyad, and you're the third, or do you feel like that each of the cats feels like that they are number ones with you?
Oh my gosh, they are both fighting to be number ones with me
Okay, so
always.
you are in a lot of ways like the Joe in this house. And I think it's
Yes.
interesting. And tell me if you think that this is an unusually structured alliance, because I feel like that Joe has this 4-person alliance where that Joe is Eva's number one, that in Joe's mind, like Kyle is presenting that Joe is Kyle's number one. And also that Joe is Shaheen's number one. It was also Joe is David's number one, seemingly. Whereas that this is a weird alliance in that it's not like a 2 and a 2. It's that everybody feels like, okay, me and Joe are doing this.
Wow, Daddy Joe, he's
He is
killing
Daddy
it.
Joe.
He's
Yeah.
Zaddy Joe.
And then when David went to him and said, hey, you went back on your word. Like that was like, okay, that was it. And that, Joe's like, I got so many other number ones. I don't need you.
So maybe that's why people are going to feel so burned by him because they all thought he was is number one.
Yeah.
Because that's hard. I actually think that's great. That's amazing gameplay. That's amazing social gameplay. But then can you own it at the end and be like, yeah, you all thought I was your number one because I'm such a good game player, rather than like, I didn't go back on any of you. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think that's unusual, though, in terms of like a 4-person alliance where all the 4 people are all sort of like sister wives, that they all think that they're number one with the one person who's running the alliance?
Yeah, that is unusual. That is unusual. But I wonder, yeah, I guess I didn't think about the fact that like, does Shaheen think Joe is his number one?
They go back to
but everybody
California girls. Like, who's Shaheen's number one?
Wait, this is like Sister Wives, because in Sister Wives, there's multiple wives. The actual show, Sister Wives, where the Mormon guy and he's married to many wives. There's a clear favorite wife. There's one wife who he likes better than the other wives, and that's Eva, except, not wife, but it's Robin is the wife that he likes more.
I didn't know you knew so much about this.
I only know that. That and all the other wives are like, yeah, clearly he likes Robin the best, which I've heard. I haven't watched Sister Wives in a long time, but I've heard that now the wives are finally standing up to him or leaving him or something like that. Okay. So just saying, you can't live like that forever, I guess.
Yeah.
But I wonder, it is a weird thing because they know that do they think he's their number one if they know that Joe and Eva. I'm still in awe of like Joe and Eva. I'm in awe that Eva hasn't had to play her advantages. I'm in awe that they were gonna take a shot at Joe. Excuse me, Millie. They were gonna take a shot at Joe, and then he won immunity, and then they didn't take any shot at Eva.
I don't know if they were going to take a shot at Joe. I think it was talked about, but then that Mitch wasn't on board.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like they didn't have, weren't able to get it together. So I don't know, when that's happening. And then Eva still has the hidden immunity idol and the safety without power. But the thing about safety without power is that if she leaves at tribal council, that could really throw off the numbers.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Can you transfer the thing without power safety?
So the question that I think is interesting would be that, and with all due respect to Eva, I don't know if this is a move she's coming up with. Okay. I don't think that she's like thinking about the game on that kind of level. I think she's just very much playing like a straightforward game. But if there was an alliance of 4, like let's say hypothetically, they did get like Kyle or Shaheen flipped. And so, we're in trouble tonight. If Eva was able to say, all right, I'm playing Sage Without Power on Kamilla tonight. Kamilla, you're out of here. Okay, Kamilla can't get voted out. But also now it's 3-3. Now it's not a 4-3.
Oh, you're using it to save someone that
Well, use it to take away the other side's vote. Almost use it like a block of vote.
Yeah, that's really smart. You should have been on Survivor.
Yeah.
When they had these advantages.
I know. That would have been like, could have been, I mean, imagine.
That's really sorry. No, I didn't think about that as using it as a block of vote.
Because the people that I played with, Gabby, like they didn't even really know what Survivor was.
No, yeah, you did really well on that season. So,
if some of them were on Survivor 50, they still wouldn't even know what Survivor was.
Yeah, and who knows what's going to happen with Survivor 50 if we're going to get people who know how to play or not. But that's really emergent gameplay. That's a good idea. I like it.
I'm not 100% sure if you can do, but why wouldn't they let you do that if you want to do that?
Because I feel like you'd be able to because would you have to use it on an ally? But like they have to accept? Like can you non-consensually force safety
I think you
without
could safety
power
without power somebody.
I don't know that you can safety without power someone, but she could present it like it was such a good that you're like, Kamilla, I'm really worried for you. Like take this.
Yeah, you were gonna get voted out. So maybe you'd have to do it that way. But I think you should be able to like safety without power somebody.
I like that.
Like be gone.
Poof.
Yeah. And you was like, okay, well, they didn't get voted out. They just have to leave tribal council.
It was so generous, actually.
You're giving them immunity too.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot.
And then I kind of feel like even though the other side felt like maybe this was like the real flaw in the plan where the other side's like, they're not going to rocks, the strong 4. It's like, I think the strong 4 literally would go to rocks. Like if anybody was going to go to rocks, I buy the strong 4 going to rocks that they're not going to flip more than like the people that are on the bottom. This like ragtag group that we can't even get them to get 4 votes on them. I don't think that they're going to rocks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know. The whole thing of going to rocks, honestly, sometimes I don't get it because I think I remember when I played, somebody asked me like, well, would you go to rocks? And I thought I was like, no, like thinking that was the right answer. But then the right answer was yes. Like I always get confused which one is good. Which one shows you're loyal, that you will go or that you won't go?
Yeah, I think it depends on if somebody's in your group. I think I'd go to rocks.
That it's like you're saying, I'm staying the course. I'm voting this way, and I would go to rocks rather than flip.
I'm so committed to this team. I would, to show our strength, I would potentially lose randomly.
Yeah, I think somebody asked me that, and I didn't understand. I understood what going to rocks was, but in my fatigue, didn't understand the social implication of what they were asking, and I was like, no, I wouldn't do that because I'm like, why would you do that? But there are reasons to do it, especially if you're on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any players this season besides these people that are in the core 4 that you've really enjoyed watching?
I've enjoyed all of them. I enjoyed Mary a lot. I think she's iconic on social media. She's iconic. And her dynamic with Sai was very fun. And now I don't know. She's not so much being shown. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Hmm.
But like I said, I like Kamilla a lot. I think she's so smart and funny. And I love all of her confessionals that were just like, if you put Survivor Twitter into the body of one person and they got on the show and they were like, these people just want to play challenges. It's like it's the inverse of the um Facebook crowd who's like, I all I want to see is the challenges, and the strong people deserve to win. Like, she's the voice of my people. So I really enjoy her. Star was fun. Too bad we didn't get to see Star be
Yeah.
so fun for so much more.
What do you think the issue was with Star? Why didn't Star? Why wasn't she able to get anything going this season?
I don't know what her strategy for forming relationships was, because the earliest we saw of her was like, I'm going to tell everyone
Hmm.
about this thing, not Eva, but then I'm going to give the thing to Eva, but then I'm not going to nurture the relationship with Eva. Like, relationships are very intentional. You have to nurture them. You have to do things. It can't just be you're giving someone an idol and then you don't. That should have transformed into like such a strong friendship, and it didn't. So I just wasn't sure if Star was building strong relationships out there, and maybe the people out there weren't her like cup of tea. I feel like that's also a little bit of the theme of, like, even with Kamilla, it's sort of
Yeah.
like these people are not the type of gamers that she would really thrive with. And with Mary, I feel like it's like, I know her. Like, I go to the bars with a girl like that. And like the strong four are not, we're at different bars. Like, Mary and I are at like the dive bar where people have like
Oh, this sounds like
blue,
Club Condo.
we're at the dive bar, people have blue hair and nose piercings, and the strong four are like at the sports bar next door doing
Hmm.
Jaeger bombs. Like, it's a
Hmm.
different crowd.
Different crowds, right? And then and that's how the merge works, according to
Yeah,
Club Condo theory. Do you think that Star would have done better on a different New Era season?
sure.
Yeah.
I never know how to answer questions like that. Like,
No, I'm
yeah,
just
she could have
wondering
done
if,
great.
because I feel like that just as an outsider watching Star's game, like Star, I think certainly like was there to play. Like
Yeah.
Star was certainly like willing to make moves. We saw Star who like, that for whatever reason, like didn't necessarily vibe with the people that she was at with it in the beginning, and went out and then immediately went looking for an idol, and maybe not in a very like covert fashion. And Star just like was always on the bottom, and I think like was always, I think, very like willing to like make a move, like, hey, anybody like work with me. And I just wonder if like in this season where the gameplay is so like tight, that was just something that just was not a very admirable trait, to have somebody
Right.
who is just like so openly like opportunistic of like, hey, let's go, let's do something, who wants to make a move around here.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Maybe she would have really shown on a season like 46, where everyone found some, I assume, substance in the well that they all
Mhm.
ingested that made them all go insane. Star would have done really well on a season like that.
Yeah. I wonder if even like last season, where so many people were like looking for people to make moves, and there was so much talk about, strategy, where, Star is like so open and willing to, go for moves, and people who are like clamoring for stability, it's like Star was just looked at as somebody as like so they kept calling her chaotic because she wanted to
Yeah.
do things. But the people in power are like, hey, let's keep the status quo. We don't need somebody who is such a rabble rouser.
Yeah, it's so interesting how the different cultures on each season emerge. And I have no idea why Star was called chaotic. I mean, I guess she was trying to do things, but it's not like she was so chaotic. Like, she voted,
But by comparison to these
by
people,
comparison, yeah, it's all relative. Yeah, you're right.
like where
Yeah.
people are like, Mitch, make a movie. He's like, no, never. I'll never do that. Like where Star's like, hey, let's do something. Like, oh my God. Agent of Chaos, Star.
It's interesting because you would almost, if it were me, I would see the outsider who is um cozying up to the majority alliance, I would actually see that person as more opportunistic and calculated, because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look, they're like biding their time. I don't even know what their plan is. It's almost expected for people on the outside to be chaotic. So it's almost like that should
Yes.
negate the chaoticness. It's like, oh, Star's doing what somebody on the bottom has to
Yeah.
do.
I have no questions about like what Star's plan is for this vote, whereas these other people that are sort of like the hanger-ons that,
Yeah.
who knows what they're up to.
Yeah, they could be persuaded to do something by someone more persuasive than you.
Yes.
Whereas Star is going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. It's like, I'd rather
Mhm.
that person than the person where I'm like begging them to do something and they're like, no, not yet. I'm like, I actually can't trust that more.
Yeah. So, Gabby, this week we saw Jeff Probst offered rice to the contestants. And to me, this was a little sad, the rice negotiation. I wonder if the rice negotiation, born into this game when you were out there with Angelina in season 37, did the rice negotiation die a sad death this week?
They chose such a horrible time to do it. Oh my gosh, so many mistakes. First of all, half the tribe just ate an entire reward feast. You need 3 people to sit out. Only 4 of them are hungry. It's final 8.
It might not be the 4th even that or the 3 that need immunity.
Yeah, exactly. Like the crossover, like it didn't work, and there's too few people. There's too few days left in the game. I feel like they were like I was proud of them. They were like, Jeff, there's only 7 days left in the game. Like they can make it, I'm sorry. They're not starving. They have coconut and all that stuff. Like So yeah, it was not a good move. I don't know if they're going to get rid of it. I think Jeff likes it. Shout out to Angelina for being a game changer. In retrospect, we got the deal of a lifetime. We only had to exchange one person for immunity.
And you got a bag of rice.
Mm-hmm. What they got a bag now of rice, right?
You know what? I think that then in Survivor 46 they had like individual containers, like like Liz just got like a little like Tupperware full of rice.
They were worried about Liz. Yeah.
Yes. And last season they give away all their shots in the dark, but I don't know. Either like they got to do it earlier or just for. I mean, it's day 19. There's only 7 days left.
Yeah, I think you have to do it earlier.
And you get a day 26 breakfast. So. You
get a reward like every day leading up to the final. They're probably thinking, I've got a 1 in 2
somebody's
chance
gonna
of
win
going reward.
Pick 3 people. Like, and there's also like this, like it seems like this is a thing. And tell me if this was the case when you played. Of like, all right, now if somebody hasn't eaten, like there's a lot of pressure. You have to take them on a reward.
It seems like that's the case. I don't think that was so much the culture on ours. I remember like Allison hadn't eaten, and every week she was like, "Can you please take me?" And no one took her, and she felt very slighted by that.
Dr. Allison.
Yeah, it does seem to be the culture, but I think also they allow too many people to come on the reward now.
Yes, I agree.
Out of 8, I don't think 4 should be going. I think only 3 should be going.
Yeah, 3 should go out of 8.
Because then it actually there's so many spots, so then it allows you to like pick your alliance, and then one person where you're like, oh, and that guy hasn't eaten, and then it's like everyone's like, oh, it's okay. But if you only get to pick like 1 or 2 people, it really shows your alliance.
And you have to worry about what are the people back home doing.
Yeah. Instead of having it be 4 and 4. Yeah. So that would be I'm compiling my notes to send to Jeff.
Also, Gabby, I would have bet anything when Kyle won the reward this week, Jeff was going to say, oh, I forgot to mention, you're also going to get your letters. Okay, now make your decision.
Yeah, I thought so too. That usually happens around the final 8. So they haven't had any loved one stuff.
No loved one stuff. And then is that just would have been like too much of like putting a finger on the scale in terms of like it would have picked Joe and Eva?
Maybe, but it would have pissed people off more. I don't know.
Did they go somewhere else that wasn't the sanctuary this week? It sounded like that Jeff was like, you're going to go someplace really cool.
They made a big deal about it, and they went on a boat, which looked sick, and they went to like an island. And I think like we had a reward that was like that, but I think visually, at least on this season, like on the TV, you can't really tell the difference of where they are.
Yeah. But I thought the sanctuary was where you go where good things happen.
Yeah, are you telling me there's other places where
Yeah,
good
I didn't
things
know there was
happen?
in other places where good things happen. So what is it? It's almost like, is the sanctuary not like the top tier destination for a reward
Right.
now?
Because they seemed really excited to go to this other island, and it's
Yeah.
like,
It's like, hey, we're going to, like, we got something that's really good. It's not the sanctuary. It's like, oh my God, not the sanctuary? That's incredible.
it's like where great things happen.
Great things happen at not the sanctuary.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
4-star. It's a 5-star reward
5-star reward.
instead
Yeah.
of 4-star.
I'm interested to see if the letters come up at the final 7 reward.
I think that would cause good drama because I mean the letters feel really emotional
Mhm.
and people want them
Maybe
badly.
they do it at the final 7. I'm trying to think back to
Do
Survivor
do.
46. Yeah. So was it that Charlie won the reward and didn't take Maria, and that was a whole thing? And so was that at the final 7 or the final 8 in Survivor 46?
I don't know. I'm no Twish like historian trivia person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, like it can cause drama because Maria cried that she wasn't taken. So I mean, okay, here's another thing that I'll say. These
Yeah.
loved ones things when people are like, "Oh, well I have to take so and so because they are a mom," or like
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Uh, sorry, Rob, as you have a nuclear family, but the
Yeah.
nuclear family is not the only like valid unit of like love
An
in this.
age-old debate in
And
Survivor.
yeah, no, and that's always been. I mean, in society, like it's like everything is structured to benefit those with a nuclear family. But like, why would it be worth less for someone to hear from their unmarried their partner that they're not married to versus like, well, it's my wife. And with
Mm-hmm.
your kids, I get it. I get it. I don't have kids, but anyway, I
Yeah.
just think it's like a bigger topic on Survivor. You see it in Final Tribal and stuff like that too. It's like, well, I am a father and that means that I deserve to win. It's like, shut up. I'm a 32-year-old
Yeah.
woman
Yeah.
who's
Say, yeah.
unmarried with no kids. I want
I
to
am a
win.
mother according to Twitter.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Just wait till
I'm
this
a mother
season
to
and then
my
I'll be a
Twitter
mother.
following.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It goes back to in Survivor Panama. Aris and Terry debated about that,
I remember.
they didn't take Aris on the loved ones visit and Aris wanted to see, I believe, his mom. And
Mhm.
Terry's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go see my wife. Okay, that's like
Yeah.
a little bit better than you going to see your mom. And Aris really pushed back on that. Why is your married relationship more important than my relationship with seeing my parent?
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of people prioritize romantic relationships over other types of love. I would love to see like I just think there should be more like friends that get to write the letters or whatever. Like I feel like
Hmm.
if I ever went out there, I would just want like my friends to write things and people would be so confused. They'd be crying over like their like child drawing them a picture and I'd be like, look what my like gay friend who's like a barista said. Like that's my family. That's my family.
Yeah.
Like that's it's not a child. It's my friend, but I love them. I want to see more of that. Anyway, we're talking about the loved ones thing that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, and I think it was at the final 6 on Survivor 47. Survivor 46. So it looks like that Charlie won the reward, and then he took Kenzie and Liz for the reward, which was at the sanctuary. It was Chinese takeout, and so that did happen at the final 6. So I think the family visit used to happen at 8. I know they've done it at 8, but it seems like that maybe the letters could be coming later.
Yeah, maybe fewer letters. I mean, back when they did in person, it was at 8, because it was for my season it was, and that's the I got eliminated after I saw my mother. But I would have rather seen my wife.
Well, what about your gay friend, the barista?
Yeah, I would love to see my gay barista friends.
Mhm.
I feel like
You have multiple gay barista friends?
You must not know about gay people, Rob. They're all baristas.
All baristas. Now, were they baristas first and you befriended them, or that they were your friend first and they happened to be baristas?
The latter, but I met them. I met them because they were baristas with each other. I met multiple gay barista friends because they were gay baristas with each other.
So wait, yeah, they were gay baristas with each other. So they were not dating.
No, they weren't gay with each other. They were baristas.
They just worked together. They were
colleagues. Baristas together while gay.
And you met them both at the work.
No, I met one through a different thing, and then you meet the network, and then you get to know the barista network, the bartender network, and everyone's gay.
I don't want to get anybody fired or in trouble, but can they hook you up? Do they do like can they make you like a special drink?
Oh yeah, don't worry about that, because
an extra pump.
My one friend who worked at Starbucks would give me free drinks all the time because it's Starbucks. They can afford it. And I know you don't want to get anyone fired, but they actually did eventually get fired
for giving away too many free drinks.
For too many free drinks, but it would be, but also free food that was about to be thrown out. So I'm like a struggling grad student. I don't make much money. This friend would bring me frozen Starbucks. All their sandwiches are frozen, by the way. You know, it's like people are paying $10 for this thing. It's like a McMuffin. It's frozen. It's a thing. And would give me, at the end of a week or 2 weeks, would give me a huge bag of all of these frozen items that, if they had not been given away, were going to be thrown away. Perfectly good food. So I had like Starbucks stocked freezers.
Yes.
And eventually, but it was more of actually like this union busting thing, because this friend was like involved in like the union, like Starbucks baristas were organizing and unionizing and stuff. And so then they like basically were kind of targeted, but then also like all this security footage of like, look, here's a time that you took out a cold brew. Do you know how much this costs the company?
And it's like 3 cents.
Exactly. 3 cents. But they're like, no, $4. It's like, no, it's actually about 3 cents. I don't think that's what it really costs to make. So anyway, solidarity with my gay barista friends.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about getting anyone fired because it already
they already got fired. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hate wasting food. I eat so much like expired food out of my refrigerator because I don't want to see it thrown out. So they should be getting those expired sandwiches out to people.
Yeah, I mean, I think like corporations should get like a tax cut or something for donating it. I mean, just donate it. It's so wild. Oh my gosh. And then, you know what I want to get into that I haven't gotten into because I'm a little scared of germs? Is dumpster diving.
Okay, this is good. All right, this is so interesting, and I thought you were gonna like say like something like really controversial because you said I want to get into something that I really shouldn't. But okay, so dumpster dive. Yes, do you want to be a dumpster diver?
Yeah. Was there another role? Is there like a different thing?
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about the subject or you literally wanted to be.
I want to try it. I want to try it. I don't know if I can make it my life's work.
What do you want to look for? Starbucks sandwiches?
No, I want to look for like at the back of makeup stores. They throw away makeup and stuff like that. So
you would like literally get in there. Like, do you watch like a YouTube channel where they explain this?
Yeah, there's like TikToks, there's videos of people and they go to the back of a Sephora or like a TJ Maxx or something. There's all this thrown out stuff.
I'm tempted to go get in and get the Starbucks sandwiches.
Yeah. I don't know if they throw those away. I should ask my friend what they used to do at the Starbucks, but
because if they're frozen, would they have to like use them by a certain day?
Well, sometimes they do really horrible things to not just this company, but they'll purposely damage things so that nobody can have it. So like if it was the sandwiches, they might tear open the bag and like take
why would they do that?
Because of profit because they.
What?
I don't know why.
This is a different. This is a different coffee
podcast.
company. This is a different coffee company that does this.
Oh yeah. No
Jimbos.
names were mentioned. Latte Larry.
Latte Larry. It's the
Mocha Joe's.
Spite store.
Yeah.
And so okay. So tell me about. So you're gonna go in the dumpster, and then will you wear like? Because I would want to get like a scuba suit to go in. Like I would like I would want to dress like a literal diver.
Oh, a literal diver. Yeah, I don't think you have to. I don't think it has to be like a literal diver outfit.
What would you wear?
You want to wear gloves, probably.
Would
But
you
the
wear a
woman that I
mask?
watch, yeah, maybe a mask because of the smells. The woman I watch, you don't have to actually dive in a lot of the times. You can kind of, I don't know, peer over it or reach into. I don't know, but
Do you
sometimes
think
they're
it's
locked
fun?
off.
Like, would you dive in like Kevin, like when he went into the water, like,
love
or is
that
it
guy.
like do you get very carefully in case there's like glass?
Oh, I would for sure get in carefully. Safety first. But who knows what goodies are there? I really would love to find out, but I guess I'd rather talk about it than do it because I'm a little scared of just
No, get up off the couch, Gabby. You can do it.
Yes.
People want to see you do. They want to live vicariously through you.
I wonder if this urge will go away when I'm not a broke grad student. I'm like, for some reason, I'm really wanting to scrounge for things that I need in life because I can't afford to buy any
but I
of
bet
it.
it's so satisfying to find something good that you needed in the dumpster.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm like that with thrifting. Like I'm a big thrifter and I am so satisfied when I find a good, something exactly the thing that I was looking for. Like I'm going to a bachelorette party at the end of the month, which I've actually only ever been to one bachelorette party and it was Dr. Allison's.
Oh, okay.
And it was a very tame bachelorette
It was very
party.
tame. Is this going to be a less tame bachelorette party?
This one will be, and it's also a bachelorette party that I absolutely cannot afford, and I'm going anyway because I love my friend, but it's in Mexico.
Whoa.
But I don't know if you know much about like straight wedding culture nowadays, Rob.
Try me. I probably, whatever the subject is, I don't know a lot about it, but I would love to hear more about it.
Well, it's very, I mean, I guess this is beyond the wedding. I mean, the wedding, they're so expensive now and everything, everything has to be able to look good so it can look good in pictures and stuff. But this has extended even to things like the bachelorette party, where I received an itinerary that was designed on Canva, the graphic design app.
Okay.
There's different slides for each day. There's one slide for budget. There's one slide for the itinerary, what we're doing, the pickup times and all of this. And there's one slide for dress code. There's a dress code for different events. This is a part of a new thing that I did not know. I mean, I knew, but this is this culture of Instagram and wedding content. So like one night is a tequila sunrise theme. So we have to all wear a shade of sunset. And one night is, well, this is actually unique to my friend, is a Shrek themed dress up party because she loves Shrek. So that one will actually be fun.
Yes. What will you dress as?
I'm going to be the fairy godmother from Shrek 2.
The fairy godmother from Shrek 2. I feel like there's not a lot of women's Shrek costumes. I mean, other than like, is anybody going to be green?
Well, the bride herself is going to be Shrek. So
she's going to put the Shrek makeup on?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she has a mask, but this is for one of the evenings that we're staying in at the villa and having dinner in. So we're not going to be out and about.
I think if I was the fiance and I found out like, okay, yes, my bride-to-be is doing the bachelorette party in Mexico, but one of the nights she's going to be Shrek. Like, I think I would like sleep a little easier.
Like you're like, she's not getting so wild.
It's not getting that crazy. If she's going to the donkey show, it means like a completely different context.
Yeah, exactly. So
donkey.
That one should be fun. And one of the days is something blue. So your swimsuit has to be blue. and I don't own a blue swimsuit. But I was thrifting the other day and I found a blue swimsuit and it is my size and it's sparkly blue, like the kind of thing you would wear to a bachelorette. And I bought it. And now I have the question of, how do I wash this thing? Because it wasn't until afterwards where I was like, actually, is it sanitary for me to wear a bathing suit that was, but I mean, I guess it is if you wash it, right?
Right. Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about the swimsuit on some other one.
Yeah, so this does sound like a whole ordeal. This must be a very good friend.
This is a good friend. This is a very good friend. And honestly, part of the reason I'm doing it is because I don't know how many of these things I'll ever be invited to, because she's one of my few like straight friends that I'm close enough with that is having this kind of a vibe of bachelorette party. Like I was actually at a quote unquote bachelorette for 2 women that I know that are getting married, 2 gay women, and they had a bachelorette squared, but it was just dinner out.
Okay.
And with like wine. So it was very tame. But I feel like this kind of thing is like a very like specific type of culture that I am not in.
Your two women friends, they had the bachelorette party together, right? They did. Does a gay couple typically have separate bachelor or bachelorette parties?
I think it's up to the person, because I've even heard of straight people having combined bachelor and bachelorette parties if they're like friends with each other. Yeah, people do that. Really, it's just a vacation with your friends. I don't really know what any of this is. Okay, because what's supposed to happen at a bachelor or bachelorette anyways? No, you're gonna cheat on your partner. Like, I always found the idea a little weird anywhere. It's like, this is your last hurrah. It's like, you're still in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
So I guess it's for some people just their way to celebrate being with their friends. But I have heard of some people who have a lot of close overlap friends of doing it together, straight and gay.
Gabby, my wife had a bachelorette party in Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's classic.
That's classic. I was like, what the hell? What are we doing here?
It's her last hurrah.
Yeah. Well, what does she need a last hurrah?
Get attention, get like people be like, woohoo.
Yeah, woohoo. Like, oh, me and my 14 friends that are going to Vegas for a bachelorette party.
She has 14 friends?
She did.
Oh, no.
A lot of them were coworkers.
Oh my God. It's the coworker thing again. These acquaintances. Oh my goodness. What did you do for your bachelor?
My dad just had like a dinner at like a steakhouse.
There you go.
I'm old school, Gabby.
Outback Steakhouse?
It was not the Outback Steakhouse. It was like a not a like fast casual. Like it was not Applebee's.
It was a very like sit down formal bachelor with your dad.
It was nice.
Do dads usually go to?
I don't know. That my dad. Can I tell you like this is like kind of a crazy story that happened.
Please.
So if anybody's still listening, I'm going to give out my social security number in 10 minutes. Okay. So stay tuned. But that we had this bachelorette party bachelor party. And my dad was he invited like a lot of people, like all of the men from my family were at this steakhouse. And like, there was like this, there was like a scream outside, and my dad's like, hey, the stripper's here. And at this exact moment, a man walked into the outdoor area with his wife or girlfriend or date or whatever. And the man interpreted that when my dad yelled out, the stripper's here, that he was referring to this man's date.
Oh, no.
And this man was a rather like burly, large man, and he was pissed. He was like just ruined his entire night, as he just like was like bright red the entire night.
Oh my gosh.
I think almost like on the verge of like wanting to get into a fight.
I was gonna say, did he beat up your dad?
I think he wanted to. We were rolling deep that night.
14 friends?
I had a couple of friends there. I had like at least like 4 or 5 friends there, but it was a lot of like relatives and stuff like that. It was a lot of big uncle energy there at the steakhouse.
That's what rolling deep means to you?
And we had a lot of people there, probably like 20 people there or so. But
I'm confused. Did you have 4 people or 20 people?
I had 4 friends, but I had there were like cousins, and there were like some a lot
the
of
thing. It wasn't about you, the bachelor party. It was like your friends and then extended family also.
Yes, it was. I mean, it was for me, but it wasn't really about me. It was like, this is what my dad said we had to do.
Okay, I gotcha. Wow.
Yes, but the strippers here, and he was like, my dad was like mortified. And now some people claimed that there was a different interpretation, that like some people said that my dad was talking about this woman. Some people like that have a less charitable, but my dad swore no, he heard like a woman screaming outside, and that's why he said the strippers here.
Oh my gosh! But then some uncles are like turning on him and saying, "No, you meant it about."
I had a cousin or two that claimed no, he was definitely when this woman walked in, at the exact moment, and he was talking about the woman. But my dad wasn't rude like that. He wouldn't.
Do you remember the scream?
I'm not 100% sure about the scream.
Okay, circumstantial evidence.
I vividly remember hearing my dad yell out loudly, "The strippers here."
Well, I didn't know your dad, but let's give him the more generous.
Yes.
I think that would be quite a rude thing to say, but that's really
it would be. That's why, and that wasn't his personality.
Yeah, and the implication is because you were at a bachelor party that it was for you. So it like the strippers here that I ordered for this bachelor party.
Right.
Sorry, I don't know.
To come to the patio of the steakhouse at like 6 o'clock on a Saturday night.
I think that's the joke. And so it wouldn't. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So funny the difference between your bachelor and your wife's bachelorette. That's very, very different.
And she said that there wasn't any like they didn't go to any of these strip clubs or whatever, but who knows, Gabby?
People usually do. I don't think people usually do. Who knows? You'll never know what happens in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I don't know. If anybody was in Vegas around like the spring of 2010, let me know. You saw a bunch of nurses running around being out of pocket.
If you saw a bachelorette party in Vegas, let Rob know.
Sometime in 2010. I don't remember exactly. I think like May or June of 2010. A bunch of women. Yeah.
Celebrating. Okay. Yeah.
Gabby, have you voted for anything for Survivor 50?
Yeah.
Yes. Have you been voting every time they have stuff?
Yeah, I think I might have forgotten the last one because it was, I don't remember what it was, but I have been voting.
Yes.
I have preferences. Some people are not going to like what I voted for.
What did you vote for that you think people will be upset with? You voted to keep Final Four fire making?
I voted to keep Final Four fire making.
Why do you like it so much?
The reason that I like it so much. You watched
Mike White do it against Kara Kay and was like, yes, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, exactly. No, the reason I like it is because I think Jeff's right. I think Jeff's actually.
I think if you're a Survivor player, you should have to make fire.
No, I don't think that part's right. I think that so I don't know, thinking about season 50 coming up, may or may not have felt personally invested, not, for myself, maybe I'll know people there. And I thought to myself, it actually does give somebody a chance of making it through at the Final Four who might not otherwise make it through. And fire is something you can practice. And I think it's kind of your fault if you're not good at fire. So I did vote for it. Come at me, people. But wow.
Well, I personally, I don't love it. I hear what you're saying. I think that the Final Four fire making is one of the problems with this season, where that I think that this group of 4 can consider like, hey, like maybe we can make a move, but if not, like we'll all have a chance at 4. Like it's not like we have to turn on each other. Whereas I feel like it makes it a more interesting game that people have to, like, if there was no Final Four fire making, if there was going to be somebody voted out at 4. There would have to be more questioning of like, if for Kyle or Shaheen to say, well, hold on, am I 4 in this group? Because if so, like I gotta figure something else out. I can't just go to Final Four with this group.
I actually agree with you. I think this season is probably the perfect example of when the social dynamics at 4 can be really interesting, and we probably will be robbed of that. Because I'm thinking even like, what if you got to, let's say at the final 4, Joe is really the front runner, and it's sort of the thing of like, let's try to get Joe out so he's not in the final 4. Then you get a really interesting thing of like, would Eva turn on Joe at a final? Otherwise, now you get this heartwarming thing of like, well, we'll go against each other in fire and it'll be noble. So I definitely hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very like I understand what you're saying, because the times when we have had these like really interesting dynamics at 4 that have gotten washed away by that, it's been really disappointing. It was purely a self-interested move, thinking about the potential of people I know being on 50 and you know,
It's a good point.
yeah.
And Adam Klein had said to me that on a podcast, he's like, if you can make fire, you can't go home at 4. Like that, if you're the best fire maker, you are automatically in the final 3.
Yeah, I think he's kind of right, because yeah, if you're is the idea like, because if you're really good and they don't want you to be there, then they'll put you through anyway because they don't want you to show off
Yeah,
your
either you're
chops.
gonna
Or
win
then if you,
immunity, they'll take you through, or
yeah,
if you're the best fire maker, you'll beat whoever they put up against you.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
He
So,
says he can make a fire without even scraping the magnesium.
oh, wow, okay. I mean, you can make it spark, but it has to catch something. It would have to catch really
He
dry.
says he can do it without. He says that you waste time doing the scraping.
When did he say this?
God, I don't know. When last time I interviewed him, I don't know. I'm like, but what is time? What is it like?
Like 10 years
Maybe was it in the fall? Sam, when did I last have Adam Klein on the podcast? Like, what month is it?
Oh, I don't know what time it
It's
is.
May now. I don't know.
It's May. It's 5/5/25 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, magnesium helps the thing catch fire. You can make it spark, but something has to catch, so you'd have to catch really dry.
I can't do it. I'm just telling you that he says that he can do it.
Everybody should go watch a YouTube video and go do it. Like, I'm actually, the reason I wouldn't want Final 4 fire making, I'm changing my vote.
Yes.
I need a revote, because people are so annoying about it. It's like it's fire. I don't know. Just like go do it. It's not like
who's annoying about it.
People who are people.
The jury is annoying about it. Who's annoying?
Yeah,
about
no, it's the jury. Like the amount of like, oh my god, they made fire. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You should all know how to make fire. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So anyway, you should learn how to make fire, Rob. It's something so easy.
What makes you think I don't know how to make it?
I thought you just said you don't know how. Like 30 seconds.
I don't know how to make it without the magnesium.
Oh, you just use the magnesium. I will say, I one time brought Flint to a camping trip because I was like, I want to see if I still got it, because I used to know how to make it. I'm thinking it's not a skill that you lose.
Yeah.
Everything was so wet. I tried for so long and could not get it. It was so humiliating and embarrassing.
When I used to play Survivor, I did not know how to make a fire. And before Survivor All-Stars, Jeff Probst called me on the phone. And he was a little bit like, you might be a one-trick pony. When he was right.
No.
But he was. And they said, hey, this time we're not giving you guys anything. You better know how to make a fire. And I still never tried to practice because I felt like
someone else will know.
I felt like if my tribe needs me to make the fire, we're already dead.
Oh my gosh, I felt that way.
And that was why I thought that I was going to do with 8 people. I said if the other 7 people are like, Rob, we need you to make the fire, we're dead anyway.
Yeah, If Rupert's going to be out there, he's going to make the fire. Yeah.
I didn't waste 1 second.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
I don't think I voted for anything else controversial on the Survivor stuff. I was kind of like not so excited about
not even buff colors. You didn't care about that?
No, I voted, but I think I voted for like the most unique one. What felt the most unique to me that we hadn't seen before.
I heard we might be getting more things to vote on this week. Is there something that you hope they put on the table?
I can't think of anything because I feel like everything that they've put the things the fans have been asking, but of course they put it with the most biased wording in the
Mm-hmm.
world, which as somebody that does psychology research, we take classes to learn how to do surveys that are not so, would you
Yes.
rather make the game boring by having no advantages or make the game fun by having advantages? So, I mean, they should vote on whether they get the loved ones in person or not.
In-person loved ones. Should that happen in season? I think everybody would say yes,
Yeah,
right?
everyone should say yes. That would be really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe they could sort of like bring them out like right near the end just to see them.
Oh, you think? Like not a reward?
I just wonder, it's 26 days. Like, I'm sure that they would miss them. It's just that it takes so long to get there, right?
Yeah, it takes so long.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Am I overthinking it? You think it'd
You're
just be
overthinking it.
fine? Yeah.
Yeah, they could still have them. I feel like they didn't because of COVID at first, and
Sure.
now like we have vaccines and stuff. So long that people as people get them.
Yes.
But yeah, in theory they could. But maybe that's why they don't want to. I don't know. In fact, I don't know how these
Yeah.
things work. I don't know how to decide
Well, they
decision.
used to quarantine, like the first year that they brought them back, they used to quarantine them for like 14 days, which is kind of crazy because that's like
Yeah.
basically like past where the merge starts.
Wait, they do that to the players, you mean?
Yeah, the players used to have to
Yeah.
quarantine
They
for
don't do
like,
that anymore? I
I
thought
don't
they
think
did.
so. I think they,
Oh.
I mean, from what I understand, I think they just go right into it.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, I thought that was right because that kind of would add up to the 39 days in the end.
Yeah,
But
I think that's where
now,
they started with 26 days.
wow. Well, now there's
Should
no
they
good
vote on
reason
that?
for it.
Should they vote? Should they vote on
Oh,
should they
the fans
quarantine?
would. Oh, they
Yeah,
put in the quarantine. I thought you were going to say vote on 39 days,
no,
which fans would love, and Jeff will never ever do.
yeah.
They should allow them to have like a vape on the island.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that should be a
For
that should be a vote. It's like
like
should
for Hannah.
like in the medical area, just a vape for only for Hannah, only if she returns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if you're allowed to smoke or vape on TV, but maybe they could do it like off camera.
What do you mean you don't think they're allowed to on TV? What is this, the 1960?
I guess so. I guess they're allowed to. That yeah.
I don't know when they when they
Yeah, they
didn't.
used to because they don't ever smoke on Big Brother anymore.
Oh, they used to?
Yeah,
That's
people
like
used to
Love
chain
Island.
smoke on
They
Big
used
Brother.
to on Love Island UK too, and they don't
Hmm.
anymore. Yeah, I mean you can still smoke on TV, but I think on reality TV with the thing. But that'd be funny. We need that's like I feel like a Shane Powers type of thing where it's like at a reward, there's a pack of cigarettes. Like that'd be really funny.
Hmm. Right? Yeah, didn't he like go into the a village, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they could smoke other things too if they wanted. They could smoke like I don't know what else they have, beetle nut or something,
Should they
kava.
vote on that?
They should vote on if should have kava, if they can have
Hmm.
kava at the. Oh my gosh, they should have Zoom calls for at least for the family visits if they don't have in person. Like we all have Zoom, and it can be sponsored
Sponsored by Zoom.
sponsored by Zoom. Didn't it used to be sponsored by 18
They had an
Sprint or
AOL challenge like back in season
AOL?
2.
I heard today, News AF, that Skype is shutting down after 22 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really,
Yes.
they really
Well, they
fumbled the
really
bag.
dropped the ball on
Yeah.
COVID, right? Because I was like on Skype in like 2008, and I was like, "Wow, this
Same.
technology is like a miracle. I can't believe this is like we're in the future." And then, okay, here comes COVID, and then I don't know, were they just like asleep at the switch?
They were. It was a verb. Skype was a verb, and you fumbled being a verb for video calling. That's
Hmm.
sad.
That was
So
pretty
anyway,
sad.
yeah, they closed down. So that's my News AF for you for today.
Thank you. Okay, well, yeah, well, that's for tomorrow, but I'll save it for then. Let me ask you: do they have this challenge for you? This reward challenge where they like crawl through the sand in your season?
No,
Okay.
that looks so fun and brutal.
You think it looks fun? I would not enjoy this.
I just think it's silly and maybe that makes it fun. But yeah, I mean, it would be
It
horrible. You
seems
get
like that
sand
they
everywhere.
changed this because they did it last season, I feel
Yeah,
like, right?
they
And
changed their hands.
but last season that it was like you had to hit the ball with your face. And remember like Andy like used his tongue to push the ball over the hill? They made a slight
Oh,
change, right? That now it's like now put the rope in your mouth and then
yeah.
carry the ball with the rope.
Yeah, it led to a lot of like grunting and
Yeah.
sounds. Yeah, I think last year they didn't tell them, or last season they didn't tell them how to do it, and then so they kind of hacked it. They were like, "Put it in your shoulder," and so then I feel like they tied their hands now because they didn't want them
Uh
to leverage it. And then, but I don't know. And then you have to have the thing in your mouth. Your mouth's open, sand's going into it. But I
not
don't
for
know.
me.
It's a little demeaning.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna say, Jeff, I'm gonna sit this one out. Can I do the rice negotiation?
Yeah, yeah, once you see what it is, can I get a personal
Can I
box of
opt
berries?
out? Yeah, of this reward challenge because a lot of these immunity challenges, you could try it for a little bit, like, okay, I'm out. But like this one is like you're stuck there, right? And then
Yeah.
if you're not even trying hard, Jeff is just gonna yell at you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you like get in trouble. Would
Hmm.
you rather sand or mud?
Hmm. So I think I'd rather mud,
Hmm.
but the mud gets everywhere, and then you can't really. It's very hard to get off.
Yeah, but so does sand. Ugh,
Hmm.
what a dilemma.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
I'd
hope that
rather
neither
neither.
of them. I hope neither of them are in any of the dumpsters when you do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm really curious to know how the dumpster dive is going to go.
Oh, now I feel like I have to try it so I can report back to
Yeah.
you.
What about like if you had like a buddy who was willing to
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, like what if somebody is a listener? Okay. It's like Gabby, I'll show you the ropes. Or would you be very nervous to like, okay, a stranger is willing to meet me in a
Yeah, the
dumpster.
dumpster.
I might not get out.
I love and trust the RHAP fandom to a large extent, but
Yes.
meeting at a dumpster might not
You're
be.
always so kind about the community. So I think that they would like, I think that there's got to be like some gay barista who's out there who would be willing to like meet you like behind a Starbucks and show you the ropes.
Yeah, okay. If there's any gay baristas who know how to dumpster dive out there who live in the Buffalo region, let me know. I think I know all the gay baristas already, but if there's one hiding out there that I don't know about.
Maybe hiding in a dumpster.
Yeah,
Yeah. Who's your winner pick?
it's Kyle. I'm gonna stick
Yeah.
with Kyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it would be exciting, but it's got to come sooner or later.
I think
I don't
that
think
we
he can
could
just stand pat and win.
I agree, but I think also others can mess up and others can make people mad.
Yeah. Can I ask you about Camilla's edit? I feel like that she's been so under edited in the post merge. What's going on? Other than talking about that David is an idiot, I feel like
Love
that
it.
we have barely seen her in since the merge happened.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where I don't think she has much agency right now, and so her role is very much like the content we got was uh I'm feeding information to Kyle and he's feeding information to me and kind of that position of this secret duo. So I think she just when you don't have a ton of agency in the game, and it's like maybe if they had made a move against Joe, that would have been her episode or something
Hmm.
or but like if nothing really happens and then you're not also one of the people going home so they're kind of not showing you, then it's just kind of how it is. I feel like it's the same thing with Mary, but Kamilla has, the Kyle relationship to give her a little bit more content. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're definitely being shown that like shown more of Kyle's perspective, which is why when I put my producer hat on, I'm like, I would think that Kyle has more win equity at this point than Kamilla, just
So
because
for
we're
sure.
hearing his point of view.
Yeah. How about this? Can you give me a percentage chance that Mary gets voted out on Wednesday?
Uh I think it's pretty good odds. Maybe 40%.
40%. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other 60%, who's the second biggest number?
Oh my gosh. Who's left?
Is it Mitch?
Mitch, yeah. Mitch,
Yeah.
I want to say. It's hard to guess these things. This is why I'm glad I don't do anything like the draft or power rankings or anything, because I'm so bad at guessing things.
Yeah. Here, Brandon Donlin sent me from some of your chat BCC posts. You posted on Wednesday night. My jaw is on the floor. What was your jaw on the floor from? What happened in the episode
What
that made
was
you?
it? Why did I say my jaw's on the floor? It was definitely at one of the musical numbers.
Oh, was
I
it? Oh,
think
maybe my enemies are plotting.
I think it was My Enemies Are Plotting. I just couldn't. We got two musical numbers.
Yes.
I mean, it really went on.
Yes.
Wow, that wasn't even my best chat BCC of the night.
What was?
The best chat BCC was when we were talking about the sand challenge.
Oh, okay. I got it. Here. Yes. Okay. So Christian posted in the chat. This is the chat BCC. We do it every Wednesday night. Okay. Go to robinswebsite.com/VIP chat. Or Mike Bloom posted that this challenge was in season 47 and 48 after taking a break. And Christian said Wiggle Worm was in 47 too. And Gabby said, no, she was on 1 and 31.
I thought
was
that
good.
was funny.
She would dumpster dive.
Kelly Wigglesworth would dumpster dive with me?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'll call her up.
She'd be up for it.
I feel like if I had to say somebody from this season that would dumpster dive with me, it would be Mary. And then it would be Star.
Yeah. I could see it.
So if either of them want to hit me up to dumpster dive.
Yeah. And in terms of like people's prospects in the game, like they might be needing to dumpster dive.
They should be dumpster diving. Like you got to go into the trash. You got to take risks.
Yeah.
You got to see what you can find.
That's why I'm so frustrated with Mitch. It was like Star's like, hey, Mitch, come into the dumpster. We got. There's the Starbucks sandwiches are all in here, and Mitch is like, no way. I would never dive in the dumpster. Like that's beneath me. Like
he's snitching even. He's going.
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, guess what? Star said there's sandwiches in there. She's trying to start the union at Starbucks. We gotta go. Check the footage.
Mitch got my friend.
She's giving away cold brews to Gabby.
Mitch the snitch.
Mitch the snitch.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Mitch. Mitch, no. Mitch, I hope you're against union busting.
They're trying to start a union.
That gif of Mitch shaking his finger is so iconic.
It's so iconic.
He looks so sassy in it. I actually love it. I want that.
Yep. Yeah, he ate. Not in the dumpster.
Such a good GIF, video, whatever it is, GIF, whatever you want to say.
Well, Gabby, anything else you want to talk about or tell people about?
No.
When's the bachelorette party?
The end of May.
End of May.
End of May. I'm going to Mexico, and I'm really excited. But before that, my cousin's getting married in Colorado.
Okay.
And then this girl that is the bachelorette party is getting married in Colorado in August. So
oh my God. What a busy travel summer. Do you have to go to your cousin's bachelorette party?
No, I was invited, but I kindly declined because I'm not in the bridal party for that. They had a chill thing. They went to like Joshua Tree and they went to like national parks and they more like hung out a little bit more. This Mexico bachelorette party is going to be like, we're going to be going to nightclubs and such.
You know, can I tell you another admission? I've never been to a bachelor party.
Not even.
I went to the steakhouse.
You went to a steakhouse.
I went to a steakhouse. I've never been to a bachelor party.
Oh, do you feel like you've missed out on that life experience?
I don't know. I kind of feel like, maybe at an age when I would have liked it, I would not. It would be like my worst nightmare now to go to a bachelor party. That's
kind of the thing is I feel I'm aging out of it. And so that's also why I'm doing it. Cause I was like, I'm feeling like you, I was feeling like I've never really done it. So I feel like let me just do it. It's the thing that, it's one thing to do, but I don't know, like after this, But were you in anybody's wedding party ever?
I was in some of my friends' wedding parties, but at the time that my friends were all like, when I was in my 20s and my friends were getting married, I had moved to Los Angeles to pursue this incredible career.
Nice.
And my friends were all like back in New York and like upstate New York, your stomping grounds, having their bachelor parties and going to Atlantic City and doing things like that. I'm like, well, I'm not flying across the country to go to a bachelorette or bachelor party and then come and fly back.
Bachelorette party, I think you really.
Well, yeah. If I was working it, sure, I'd have to go, but to just go and attend it, no. And so I never, like, all my friends were like back on the East Coast, and I never went back. And then I never had any friends who got married in California, and now here I am.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think you're missing out on much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could call up a stray uncle here or there if you want to go to a strip club.
Yeah, maybe when my kids get married, like I'll rent out the steakhouse.
Yes, that'll
be the next one.
Cesternino tradition.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get that. Steven Fishback didn't give me the call when he went to Disney World for his bachelor party.
His bachelor was at Disney World?
Yes.
I have some questions and thoughts for him.
Might have been Disneyland.
I don't care which one it was. That's crazy. There's no difference between world and land. It has the word Disney in it. A grown man went to Disney before he got married. It's your
Are
last
you shaming the Disney adults in the audience, Gabby?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I've been nice enough to the RHAP community. I love you guys for your relationship to RHAP. But if you have something to do with Disney, I have nothing to do with that. I don't have to like you for that.
Okay. No bachelorette parties at Disney.
Last hurrah. It's supposed to be this thing like, oh, we're away.
You can come back when you have kids and like.
Can do. It's like you're going to a place for children. What do you do? Go to Epcot maybe and do the drink around the world?
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna text him after this. I gotta roast him for that.
Yeah, well,
that's one of the lamest places I can imagine. Sorry,
Gabby. Don't get me in trouble, please.
Sorry, these opinions are my own. The opinions expressed by Gabby Pascuzzi are my own and not reflective of RHAP.
This was such a lively conversation, and listen, if anybody is saying, hey, did you not talk enough Survivor? Well, were you not entertained?
Were you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, were you not entertained? Sorry that, oh my God, I forgot, Rob. We were supposed to go deep into the strategy of this season. And the complexities of the vote.
They gotta make a move.
Episode. Exactly. Yeah, I don't feel there's much untouched about the episode. Yes. So I'm here for my winning personality, not for my Survivor hot takes on the final 8 of season 48.
Yeah, go dumpster dive on a different podcast, okay? Yeah. Complainers. All right. Yeah.
We're getting mad at imaginary complainers. You think this is a bad episode? You're already thinking there's people complaining?
This is a great episode.
Okay, yeah. There's not going to be complaints.
Yes.
If they complain, they didn't get to the good stuff, which is now.
Yeah. This was all good stuff.
It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. But if people are like, well, it's so boring when they're talking about the strategy, there's nothing for us to comment on. There's on the strategy.
There's not much else.
We finished it. It's done. And we finished it in 20 minutes. Shout out to season 48. I really like them. And, it's not your fault. Like it's
some of them,
maybe a little bit.
But it's an interesting season in that it just got so tight so fast.
Yeah, it did. It did. It cracked open a little bit with the David thing, and then it went back. So we shall see.
Yeah, it really just there was, and this is such a thing that happens on Survivor of sort of just the overall vibe of the season was one of hey, we're not scrambling. We're not gonna be out here making all these flashy moves. It's gonna be very stable post-merge.
Yeah, and that's good gameplay for those who can pull it off. It's just kind of boring TV for us, unfortunately, because sometimes the worst gameplay is the most fun TV. I'm fun. I'm team fun TV.
Yeah, because we always have something to talk about. So
Yeah.
there you have it. All right. Gabby Pascuzzi, the great Gabby Pascuzzi. Where could people keep up with you? You doing Cameo?
No, I'm trying to not be much on social media anymore, but people should join the Chat BCC
Oh, yeah.
app if they want.
Remember on the night of the Traitors finale when we're like, okay, hey, everybody's going to want to talk about the Traitors finale. Everybody be there. We're going to start the new group chat on the Traitors. And then it was only me and Gabby. We're the only two people from all the survivors talking about the Traitors. Everybody else was off doing Blood on the Clock Tower. Like they can't take one night off from Blood on the Clock Tower to watch the Traitors finale with us.
Yeah, it was so sad. It was just us. And then it was a boring episode anyway. So we were like, oh, okay, I was like, well, you have to pause it so we can all start at the same time. And then like halfway through, we're like, I think Rob texted me.
I missed that note of
you missed it. And then you texted me and you said, by the way, you can totally fast forward through this challenge. And I said, all right, I'm doing it. And I texted that to the group Chat BCC. I said, sorry guys, I betrayed the trust of the timing. I skipped the challenge.
You're the traitor. Gabby and I could have just been texting.
Yeah, literally.
It's just
I think we were. I think you texted me on the side saying I skipped the challenge, and I said okay. And then it's like we're trying to be in the group chat. We're the only ones in there. But the Survivor chat is much more fun. Everyone who's not on it
yet.
yet.
The Survivors, they don't schedule Blood on the Clock Tower against the Traitors finale.
Yeah, exactly. These nerds playing social deduction.
They never get tired of it.
And you know what? I get a little tired of it. And I don't play as often as them. I played for the first time in ages, like, a month or something ago. And there was the first time that I had played in ages and I got the demon, whatever.
Yes.
But I won.
I know, and they all love it. And I love that for them. I just you know what I don't love? And because I feel like, Gabby, we're friends. You know what I would not enjoy? Gabby, I swear on my kid's life, I'm telling the truth. And then it's like, got ya. I was lying. Lied to your face the whole time.
That ups me up a little bit. Yeah.
I love Survivor. I love these shows, but I don't necessarily love these games where it's you have to really put yourself out there of trust me, Gabby.
You're really lying in these games. It's different than Survivor, because in Survivor you're trying to figure out who to vote out and you're lying, but in these games it's you have a role and you're playing that role. I mean, it's much more like the Traitors or something. That's Saree breaking the hearts of those loyal.
Okay, that's a show and you're trying to win money. I get it. But it's it bums me out a little bit where it's I'm sure you've had this on one of these games. It's somebody's your good friend. And then they're oh, I'm telling you, hey, trust me, we're friends. Okay. And then it's oh, wow, that kind of sucked. That wasn't a fun feeling.
No, it's not that fun to lie to your friends. I think what you're saying is that when RHAP runs Clock Tower, you need to have a prize money on it.
Maybe.
I'm gonna tell Dwight he need to start offering prize money. Then I'll start playing again because I won't feel as guilty.
Yeah, and look, so many people love it, and it's for them, and I love it for them. It's just it's not my favorite thing.
You're old school.
I'm old school. I want to stick with my friends.
Yeah, but your friend could be a demon. Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe because I have so few friends, I cherish them, Gabby.
It's getting destroyed over
with a million friends that I can just lie to them willy-nilly.
Yeah, you're risking your few friendships over Blood on the Clock Tower. That's risky.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's good you care about your relationships.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gabby, this was so fun. Thank you all so much for listening. Those people that are still there. I am very much looking forward to reading the comments on this one.
Yeah. Well, let me know where do I read the comments? Oh, on YouTube.
On YouTube. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did have to ask at the last second. I said, is this recorded? And then I was like, I gotta clean up I didn't put on any, whatever. I'm wearing my shirt that says pear.
Pear.
Got a picture of a pear on it and it says pear, but I had to clean the background of my anyway. But yeah, this was really fun. Thanks for having me.
Yes, this was a delight. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'll be back with Stephen Fishback and we will be talking about the episode on Wednesday night. Let's see if something happens. Final 7. Okay. It's getting down to brass tacks. It's do or die. And then we've got a great show on Thursday. Baby Andy is going to join us.
Oh, I love Andy. He's like
Yes.
the male version of me.
Andy is the male version of you. Yeah, I know that. Yes, I know you are
So
close, right? Yes.
he's from Buffalo.
Yes.
And I live here, and
Mhm.
he's half Filipino.
Yes.
And I'm half Filipino, and he's
Yes.
bisexual.
Yes,
and
I
I'm
remember this
bisexual.
from the preseason. I just feel like that in practice, I feel like that as game players, I didn't think
No,
that
we're
you were
not.
the same.
No, we're not so much. Well, maybe we're both. I don't know. I don't twirl my hair as gracefully as him. But
Mhm.
anyway, that's so exciting. I love when the new players that have just played get to come on the podcast.
Come
So
through.
that's really fun.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. This is RHAP. We know reality TV.